Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Happy Halloween. This is just where everybody wants to be, so thanks for being here.
I'm just testing my microphone real quick. You got me? Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm Veronica. We've got Trudy here. Our board is joining. We'll give everybody just another moment to join, but I think we'll also just kind of hop into it. We don't have any guest speakers this evening. We're looking to set that up for November. But we do have some mini grants to get through and talk about and approve later in the meeting. So that's kind of our main focus for today. But if you guys want to start, I see Patrick is here and ready to go. So Patrick, if you want to go ahead and give us your student council report.
Of course, thanks for having me. Homecoming went great. Thank you for all your support there. We just did Halloween trick-or-treating in the hallways, which was good. Last student participation. And we're looking forward to the Capco toy drive. That's up next. And we're looking forward to working with the middle schools and elementary schools more as Capco requested. Other than that, we're looking good.
Excellent. Anything to look forward to in the next month before you guys get to finals? Anything?
No, I think we're waiting till after finals to start the toy drive.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks so much.
Of course.
Thank you, Patrick. For our administrative reports, we have Ms. Blahnik for the facility liaison report.
Hello, everybody. So I just wanted to start first with after our last meeting, Mr. Ebert sent out the opportunity for the mini grants for teachers, staff, and clubs, I believe, too. So just thank you for that opportunity that you give to our school community. That was very much appreciated. Hopefully people took advantage of that opportunity and applied for those grants. Just to elaborate a little bit on homecoming, the student council and Miss Ackman, Miss Pfaff did a really great job. A lot of people come together to just have a really great week. The dress up days were a big success. A lot of participation with that. The student council and the school leaders did a great job with the assembly. We had some, obviously, student participation, but then even some teachers did masked singer as part of their skits, so that was fun to see. We had great weather this year for the parade, so lots of participation. Our cross-country team walked in it, but we were surrounded by clubs and sports and all different people. It was really great to be able to have that experience. I hear that the football team and the dance was successful too, so hopefully all students were able to feel a sense of belonging in that homecoming week. As far as after that, a next big event was conferences on October 24th. Really great turnout. I'm sure Mr. Ebert will say a little bit more about that. We obviously appreciate you guys thinking of us for the apple spice and the treats. I walked out of there with a bag of goodies and I know I wasn't alone. So we just really appreciate that. It starts our night out on a really great success. So thanks again. And after conferences, technically 10/25, that Friday was the due date for registration for AP sign up if your student wanted to do the AP test to register for the form. I believe because students were out that day, they extended the due date to the following Monday. So hopefully you had a chance to get that form into the counseling office. Again, Miss Connolly, Jackie Connolly would be the AP coordinator with questions, and I believe folks pay on Infinite Campus for that. Teachers participated on the days students had off on the 25th in a teacher in service. We focused on critical reading so we can better serve our students and priority standards. As Patrick mentioned, we did the Halloween today. A lot of students and staff dressed up. It was just good energy in the building. We have our day 40 progress reports came out this week, so hopefully you got some feedback on how your students doing and if they need to work on anything or contact their teachers before we wrap up the try. It'll be here sooner than we think. Some things to look forward to. The play, I know, is the Crucible. I have some students that are involved in that, if not acting, stage crew, or costumes, or whatever. A lot of work goes into that. So hopefully people can go out to see the play. As we're wrapping up with the trimester, just to kind of support your student in their studying, maybe encourage them to attend some of the focus groups that Mr. Navarre and some of the mentors put on for students to help in their studying. And we obviously have a lot of sports and other clubs that are in their postseason. So to wish them success, maybe you can root them on. And I believe that was all that I had. I'm happy to answer some questions.
Wonderful, thank you. Any
Thank
questions?
you.
Feel free to add any questions to the chat. If we don't have anyone online to answer them immediately, we could certainly follow up. So,
Okay.
all right, thank you. All right, that leads us to our principal's report with Mr. Ebert.
Thanks to Patrick and thanks to Melissa. Melissa, you're getting so good at this that I am running out of material for some of the conversation that I'd like to provide. But it is fun listening to you add some of the stuff about school spirit and student support. So that's really good stuff. Thank you for the work that you do. For all of us. My few minutes here is just some thanks to everybody about the partnership, a continued partnership, strong partnership between our school administration, our faculty and staff, and the PTSO. Melissa already mentioned a bunch of the stuff, but obviously Apple Spice is always a winner with our staff, and I know it was appreciated the other night at parent-teacher conferences. I do have some stats. The Meet the Teacher app or program can really run some cool stats on who's showing up and at what times and those sorts of things. I'll just say this: we set a record for turnout this year, a little over 45%. Of people were able to sign up and sit in for conferences. And I actually heard from teachers, Melissa, maybe you had the same experience too. Like we've had in the past no shows, people sign up and you get no shows, and it felt like there was much less of that than in the past. So really good turnout, really good things. It sets kids up for the rest of the trimester. It sets up for the rest of the year and having relationships with everybody. All of it always in support of kids. I appreciate this team's work or efforts, I should say, in connecting with people about, turning out to parent-teacher conferences. I think it's working. So thank you for that. Now, it gets harder as we go into second and third trimester. Everybody knows that, right? So we want people to show up in second trimester. We want people to show up in third trimester. If people have feedback for me on how we operate the Meet the Teacher or how we organize our conferences, I seek that. I want that to be shared with me. Our teachers do too. We're not afraid to change things up. But I mean, right now it still feels like 3 years into Meet the Teacher, we found the right fit for our parent-teacher conferences. I know 5 minutes is not long, right? I understand that. Melissa and others have become an expert in trying to help provide as much information as possible and get the back and forth with family during that time period. But if people have feedback, I'll take it here. Otherwise, I'll take it whenever. Happy to try to create stuff that it really is family friendly and able for people to participate in. So again, thank you for your help in what I thought was a great evening last week, Thursday night. I talk about testing every time I'm on here. Our fall testing is complete, which I'm happy with. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and obviously, you get kids in unfortunately out of class and into take some of these standardized tests, but we do find value at least in the pre-ACT, that junior level pre-ACT, which I've talked about here before. Kids get feedback on where they're at from these tests. Importantly, students and their families can review, these areas and pick out whether it's a subject area or a part of a subject area that to focus on. We've been a little bit late in getting people their results. They exist. I've looked at them all. We've used them already in professional learning. Melissa mentioned the other day some conversation on reading comprehension, but there was a mix-up on how they printed the ACT printed the junior pre-ACT results, and so we're waiting until I think it's November 8th or something. We're going to get them and then distribute all to kids from there. So kids and their families should be able to access that stuff. We had senior ACT that was completed, that last chance for some students if they wanted to take the ACT that we've been able to sponsor. PSAT as well took place. So we're done till spring. Till we have the state mandated pre-ACT stuff and then the ACT for juniors. In the next few days, you'll get an email from me regarding our end of trimester exams, final exam schedule, and our end of trimester expectations. Haven't changed anything from the past few years. We'll have a timeline of from 4 days out until final exam days about what the expectations are for faculty, what the expectations are for students when it comes to, hey, when's the last day we can give a test or quiz? That's 4 days out, right? When do final exam? I'm sorry, gosh, when do grades need to be updated and complete? That's 2 days out. So students and families can get a clear view of what needs to be accomplished, in the next couple of days leading up to the final exams, and allows students who are eligible to exempt the ability to decide what class that they're going to exempt, so long as they meet the criteria and the assessment meets the criteria as well. So you'll get something from me coming up in the next couple of days. Our final exams, hopefully everybody knows, are Monday, November 25th and Tuesday, November 26th. We end at noon on November 26th, and then no school on Monday, December 2nd. So it's a nice long Thanksgiving break. Last year, you might remember we had final exams after Thanksgiving break. I talked about that with this group last year. Our schedule was able to work out this year that we didn't have that case. But kids get the extra day. Teachers will be working to prep for finish up try one and prep for try two. Again, look for some information from me coming up regarding those things. The fall season is my favorite. It's not just because of the weather and all the good stuff that we've going on with homecoming and those sorts of things. It really is a time where so many kids are involved in co-curriculars. Melissa mentioned cross country and all these other groups. It all seems to come to a head in a weekend like this. We've got the fall play, the Crucible on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are hosting a football game tomorrow night against rival neighbor Germantown. So we'll see how busy that is. The boys soccer team is actually playing as we speak, and it's 0-0. But that's cool. They're in level 3 or the sectional semifinal. Should they win tonight against Notre Dame Academy, I think they'd match up against arch rival Cedarburg on Saturday, so that'd be cool. The boys volleyball team has had great success this year, and they're in the sectional final, meaning one game away from state. They'll play at Nicolet High School on Saturday night, also against Germantown, right? So it's a neutral site against Germantown. So we'll see how that goes. Those are sports still going. We got some cross country runners, going, but some of the other sports we've had some good success that just have been wrapping up in some of these places along the way. Love the fall season. It really is a fantastic time of year. Patrick mentioned homecoming, so did Melissa. I just wanted to mention that I thought the parade was really well done. We had good turnout. We're gonna try to get that thing to 5 o'clock next year, so that like we tried to a year ago, and then we moved it back. So that we can get the elementaries over there. But I will say, with the move to Thiensville Park, I kind of walked to clean up at the end of it. I was there for the beginning part and then walked through at the end just to try to pick up some stuff on the street. And the amount of people that were there and then in the park, I thought was really special. Thought it was really nice. And we didn't quite know what to expect. Dawn Pfaff, Ashley Ackman, and I are the ones who kind of, talk these things through. But, we can even go bigger next year. Charlie O'Brien and the band were fantastic, and of course, having just people there, in their red and white, supporting Homestead as we led into the homecoming weekend, I thought was really cool. The dance was a success. We had 830 kids buy tickets. I don't know the exact number that came. I'm pretty close to that. But that we were very happy with our turnout and the way that the dance went. So that's good. Melissa talked about mini grants. I don't have much to say other than I have been signing off on people's what they've sent in for grants. I find them to be worthy of consideration, and we thank you for whatever can be accomplished through that. Lastly, I have to again thank the group for help in finalizing our concrete patio or concrete slab in the cafeteria. That was laid on Friday, last Friday when the kids weren't in session. So watched the Pablaki Paving come in and do their work. It looks fantastic. I do have a couple pictures. If I have the ability to share my screen, I'll pull them up. Veronica, I don't know if
Oh, absolutely. I'll stop share, and then I think you should be able to share from your screen now, possibly.
give me 1 second. Yep, I can do it. You see my screen?
Mhm.
All right. So that's the slab that was laid on Friday. Let me just do the slideshow. No particular order here. That's the slab that was done on Friday. You can see the outdoor classroom space to the south of those there. There is some stickering that we put on, and what it looks like from the vantage point of being inside the cafeteria. You can see we've got a Leave a Legacy. 3 stickers there for 22, 23, and 24. And then here's kind of a final picture. I took this today. We moved the tables back in. It was a little bit windy today, as you know, to open the actual door and have kids out there, but that's what it looks like. It looks fantastic. It's a great addition to the school. It's been a number of years, some of you know, in the making, but we've been able to have that patio accessible, or I should say the outdoor space accessible every single day until well, I think it was today. Yesterday, maybe. No, yesterday was nice out, right? Um, all year except one little bit of a rain day earlier. So like the amount of use that we get and fresh air that kids can have and go sit outside there. Those tables, all 8 tables that were with the help of the class of 23 that you can see through the windows there, were filled up with kids yesterday during B lunch. So really happy with the how this turned out. And if our goal as a partnering PTSO and Homestead is to help beautify the school, I think we've accomplished that with this. So I thank everybody for your help in supporting this. And that's all I have, Veronica. So I certainly can answer questions from anybody as well.
Yeah, of course. It looks amazing. Congratulations. It looks like a great space for the students.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, if no questions, thank you both so much, Ms. Blahnik, Mr. Ebert. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the reports. Thank you for sharing with the PTSO tonight. And thank you for all, I know fall is a super, super busy season with all the conferences and dances and all of the work that you've been doing. So thank you for joining us and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. All right. Any other questions before we move on to officer reports? All right, excellent. We're going to start with approval of September minutes. So give me just a moment and I will pull them up for us here. I think they're right here. All right, so if Jenny is on, can you want to talk through our minutes and approve?
Hello. The
Thank
last
you.
meeting was on September 26th. Thanks for sharing, Veronica. They were also distributed in the most recent short kilts, so feel free to click on them there at your convenience. Do we have anybody comfortable motioning to approve the meeting minutes from September?
I, Trudy, motion to accept the meeting minutes from September 26, 2024.
Thank you, Trudy. Anybody second the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Melissa. All those in favor say aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Great. The meeting minutes are approved.
thank you so much.
You bet.
Next we have Jenna. Jenna, I will also pull up your budget if you will give me just a moment. Does that look right? Is this the right one? Oh, I think you're on mute. Is it just,
Hey, Jenna, I can't hear you at all.
Yeah.
You must be
Okay.
muted.
you're muted?
No. Can see your lips moving, but we can't hear
Oh.
anything.
I unmuted it.
There we
There
go.
you
And oh, and now my dog's barking. Great.
go.
Okay. For September, our beginning bank balance was $39,770.07. We had deposits of $6,085.06. The deposits donations came for staff appreciation, membership, Highlander Fund, and conference dinner donations. In September, we had withdrawals, expenses in the amount of $271.89. And these were for the back to school breakfast. And then the ending balance for September was $45,583 and 24 cents. For October, we've had more donations for conference dinner, staff appreciation donations, membership, and Highlander Fund, which we'll go over in November in more detail. So that is it. Does anyone have any questions? No. Okay. Thanks. Oops, I'm using.
I
you so
motion to
much.
accept. I motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I second. All in favor of accepting the budget for this month?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, let me get back over here.
I think I'm up, Veronica, right?
I think you are. I was going to pull our
Okay.
agenda back up just so we can see where we are. But yeah,
Good.
continuing our officer reports, our president's report with Trudy.
Yes. Hi, I'm Trudy Kanopka and I'm co-president with Veronica. And I love following Melissa and Eric because they've presented a lot of stuff that we don't need to go over again. But We wanted to start out thanking Katie Reed and Katie Bezer for all their hard work that they've put into the homecoming and making it memorable. They do a fantastic job of decorating, so that we are very appreciative of that. It is always great to be able to meet the needs of our staff, our students, our school. Our community has always been generous in their giving. You will see later on in this meeting how we are able to use those funds in the classrooms and fill the requests that we have for the teachers and the clubs. So please consider adding to the Highlander Fund, and that's via your MTK, the PTSO store there. So we do have, funds coming in from all the families, and we really appreciate that. We're able to do so much with them. The next thing is that we have decided to discontinue the coffee chats in the format that they have been in the recent years. We are currently investigating other avenues of keeping our parents, our families up to date on school and academic information. So that's to come. We'll figure out how we will continue with that.
Hey Trudy, do you know when we're gonna get the recording from the chat that happened last week?
I do not have confirmation on that. The junior chat that was through, it was just told to us that it was forthcoming.
Okay.
So we can follow up on that and see when that'll be. I'm anticipating that we should be able to post it in the next short kilts. The next thing is now that the Leave a Legacy Cafe is nearly complete. Well, it looked like it was fairly complete to me. The class of 2025 will be encouraged to move on to the next campaign. We need to enlist a few parents to form the Leave the Legacy committee. I have, just as of a few minutes ago, got an email back from a Tanya, I'm gonna not say her last name right, Bogachar.
I think.
Okay, good. That she is willing to step up and work on that committee, and to work with the school administration to collaborate a plan and then move forward on developing that plan and then setting the campaign forward on it for the Leave a Legacy for class of 2025. The only other committee that we have that we don't have someone chairing is the senior dinner, which seems it's a little ways off, but it definitely does need somebody to get the wheels going on that and to get things in place for it. Other than that, we appreciate everybody that came on tonight. It looks like it's a small group of us here, but we also make this available so other people can get this information. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Trudy. I'll add to that, since this is recorded, and if you're talking with any of your friends and neighbors after this, there is an opportunity to maybe make some suggestions for what the Leave a Legacy is for this year. Mr. Ebert doesn't have anything in mind currently, and not to say that that is up to us, but I think he's open to suggestions. If you or your students feel like there's something in the school that would make a great project, he's open to some recommendations there. So just something to consider. And I feel like maybe that was all I had, but yeah, something to consider as we move forward. Oh, with the coffee chats going away, we will be kind of communicating more on that. Hopefully we can provide recordings in our short kilts, links to the slides, things like that, just offering ways to access that if you weren't able to be there in person. In lieu of those coffee chats, if there is content that people in the PTSO community are interested in us kind of working with the school to facilitate, I think there's room to kind of replace that with something else that maybe staff could come and talk to our group about. So again, similar, if you've got recommendations or requests on ways that we can kind of update that content and bring in more new meaningful conversations there with the staff and administration, we would love to hear your requests. So please reach out. Thanks so much, Trudy. For the area council report, area council was at the beginning of the month. Dr. Joint went over results from the MTSD September family survey results. And they're always interesting. It's always interesting to see how the community is kind of how they feel engaged and how they're participating within the school district. There were some interesting highlights, but I think one of the more interesting ones of this year was kind of the highest of the people who were reporting and engaging with the survey and really kind of promote the MTSD school district. It was one of the highest numbers of that kind of promoter partnership that they've seen since they started tracking that. So that was an interesting piece of the survey as we go into this school year. Other updates was that as Mr. Ebert was just talking about this year's calendar schedule, the calendar committee is underway for next year's schedule as well. I know people are always looking to when is spring break, how is Christmas going to work out, how is Thanksgiving going to fall. So area council is tackling that and getting together a calendar committee. And then as we talked about in our last meeting, and it is certainly timely here, we talked more about the referendum for the school district. Voting is still open through Tuesday, and I think as part of that conversation and a lot of the research that the school district has done to communicate about the referendum and the needs around that, is that people in Mequon are finding out information about this referendum from their friends and neighbors. All of the numbers and the studies are showing that that's the best way that people are getting information about the referendum. So talk to your friends and neighbors, encourage people to vote. Information on the referendum is on the school website. Just go to the school website and search referendum. We can possibly put a link in the chat, but that's a big issue of the area council is making sure people are informed and looking to vote. So if you've got any questions, please check out the website and make sure you vote by Tuesday. Thanks. Any questions on area council?
So, hi, this is Manny. For the referendum, I don't think a lot of people don't know out there. I have talked to some people and they don't even know. Maybe they are not looking out for it. And I mean, anyone that I spoke to that didn't know, I tried to explain, but I don't know how we could have advertised it better, but this is very important and a lot of people are unaware of that.
They're unaware. I completely agree with you. I think that was what some of that study was finding is that even though there's been mailings and there's been brochures and there's been emails and that even with all of that contact from the school district, they kind of went through their approach and how they're really trying to target all of our community in the best ways that they really can to really share how important this is and why we're doing it, why the school district is recommending it. That people really still are getting the bulk of their information from talking to people.
Exactly, yes.
So yeah, so I agree with you. I have found the same in my conversations, and I think they really kind of confirmed that in their talking about the referendum and sharing information. So I would encourage everybody to. It is an important topic, and encourage people. Yeah, keep talking to your friends and neighbors.
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Manny. Okay. Very good. Well, we can move on to committee reports if there are no other questions. Thank you so much. For our mini grants, we have Melissa and Jamie to walk us through. And forgive me, Melissa, which one did you want to start with?
Oh, let's start with the teacher.
Okay,
grant, please.
Let me pull those up for you while we're going.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to do the talking this time, although Jamie made this beautiful chart, which is a little hard to see only because it's, she's got a lot of information in here.
I know. I'm wondering if I can make it bigger, but yeah, it is a little.
That's okay. I'm just going to give a quick summary, right? But as we have discussed a couple times, we do mini grants in 2 batches, some in October, some in February, and we budget a certain amount over the year for both teacher and club mini grants. So we'll talk about teacher mini grants first. Our October budget for teacher mini grants is $5,000. So we received 3 three requests for mini grants. So I'll just kind of quickly go through those and let you know what they are, let you know what the amounts would be. And then if folks have any questions or want to have any more specific information, we can dig into that a little bit further. So the first one we received is from Miss Homestead. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, the art teacher, and they were looking for 3 more digital monitors for their art program. And I gave some money for these last year, but they need some more to be able to have a full classroom of use. So 3 digital art monitors would be, I think I'll see if my math matches Jamie's, but $1,949.85. The second one we received is from Mr. Patterson, who's an engineering teacher, and they were requesting 4 pneumatic kits. Please don't ask me exactly what a pneumatic kit is or what it does, but maybe we have an engineer on here who can tell us. Anyway, we did give some money for those last year as well, and similarly, they're looking for 4 more so they can have a full classroom and all students are able to use them. So 4 pneumatic kits would be $1,200. And then finally, Mr. O'Brien from the band director had requested $322.99 for music library file folders. I guess we have, 50 years of music in a closet that sort of needs to be sorted and stored and organized so the kids can, pull it out and use it. So we received those 3 requests. If you total the amount, it is $3,472.84. So well within the $5,000 we had budgeted for October for the teacher mini grant. So, we discussed these at executive committee and thought they all sounded great. And so we're recommending approval for those. So I don't know if we want to, maybe we'll just talk about those, see if anyone has questions, and then we'll talk about the club, see if anyone has any questions. Then I would suggest we just sort of make a motion to hopefully approve all of them. But
Approve all at once. No, I think that makes-
anybody have any more questions about the teacher mini grants before we move on? Okay. Great. So then moving on to the club mini grants. So we budget $2,000 for the year for club mini grants, and the maximum a club can receive is $250. So for this October solicitation, we received 3 requests for club mini grants. The first one we'll talk about is from the debate team. And they are asking for money for travel expenses for nationals, which I think they've asked for last year as well. So they asked for $250 for that. The jazz band has asked for $250 to pay for a clinician to work with the jazz band and perform with the jazz band in, I believe, a spring concert. So that's what that is for. And then finally, the National Art Honor Society has asked for $250 for supplies for their Homestead Gallery Night. So I think there's a portion of that is they give someone a stipend to be a judge, a professional artist to be a judge for that, and some money for boards to display the art and just various fees or things that they used to support that event. So we received 3 mini grants, $250 each. That's $750, again, well within our budget that we have for the year, actually, $2,000. So we discussed these and would recommend approval of these as well. So anybody have any questions about the club mini grants then, more specific questions? Okay, great. So could I get a motion from someone to approve this group of mini grants, both the teacher and the club mini grants for October?
I'll motion.
Great. Okay, could I get a second?
I'll second Kelly Robinson.
Oh, thanks, Kelly. Okay, any last questions or discussion? Okay, then all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So we'll
thank you.
solicit another batch of mini grants in February, right? And then hopefully we'll get some teachers and clubs that will come back for some more of the money that we have budgeted for them. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, both you and Jamie. Thank you for putting this together and getting all this information. This is fantastic. Yeah, and a reminder, if you're wondering why your favorite club isn't on the list, make sure that your club advisors or your student advisors are participating. It's a great resource if they're in need of things, and we will have budget to carry over for next year. So thank you. All right. For short kilts, I don't think Becky is able to make it. Is that what the text is saying?
Yeah, she said that she is not able to make the meeting at this time.
Okay. A reminder similar to last month, if you're interested in having the information shared in short kilts, it is an email. It just goes out to PTSO members. It's a great resource for clubs, for activities, for events in the school. And if you need to reach out, the email is here. It's just shortkilt@gmail.com. Becky coordinates that for us, and all of those, if you have a request, anything that you would like to add, we ask that you get that in by Monday. Short kilts go out on Tuesday afternoons. And if you're having any problems or anything like that with your receiving your information, please reach out to us and we'll help you out. Anything else to add? Excellent. That brings us back to Trudy for staff appreciation.
Yeah, I did want to kind of circle back around. It's been brought to my attention that I had said that we were soliciting for someone to help us with the senior dinner, and I think we do have someone that has come forward, but it just escaped us. So anyway, but we do need committee members on that. So anyway, all right, put that to rest. Staff appreciation, I think, like Mr. Ebert had said, that it was so well received. The dinner that we had put on for the staff there through Apple Spice, and I cannot say enough about their professionalism and the quality of their food and all they do. Doug there is a parent, a Homestead parent, and he just goes above and beyond, gives us favorable pricing, and just really works with us to put on a wonderful spread. We use them a couple times a year. We may even use them a little bit more this year. So it was a really nice event, and we had lots of gratitude that came our way. I love being there because we get all the gratitude, like 4 or 5 of us standing around, and we get to take that all in and bring it back to you and tell you how much it is appreciated. And those are funds that we solicit per class. This last one was put on by the senior class. So those are funds that were donated specifically for that event. The other thing is we are starting to organize the next appreciation event, which is slated for December. In the past, it's been what we called a sweet treats. We are going to try to jazz that up a little bit and do something a little bit different, but that's still in the works, and that'll be just before the holiday break that we do that. We do another one in February. And then we have 2 more conference meals after that, and then the staff appreciation. So it's a very active committee, and we have a lot of representation there. So it's really kind of a fun committee to be on. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Otherwise, that's the end of that report.
Excellent. Thanks so much. I don't believe Roberta is on. I'm just checking, but I don't think so. But just a reminder that teacher wish lists are in short kilts each week. It's a great way to, just if you've got things that are needed in classrooms, you can always check. Their Amazon wish lists are there. Super easy to buy a few things and have them delivered. There is a debate on whether your student will help you get it to the classroom or not, but either way, you could drop it off, have it delivered, get Amazon involved, but wish lists are up and in short kilts each week. It's a great way to help out your teachers. And then organization reports. I don't believe I did talk to Nicole. She was committed tonight and not able to attend, but will try to be back with us next month. I also don't believe that Danny and Julie are here I'll just give them a moment, but I don't believe so. For Homestead boosters, I do know, I mean, in general, that an email went out this week for Homestead gear to order in time for Christmas. So if you're interested and you have students who would be excited about that, there are a bunch of custom things that you can order before the holidays, and that email did go out this week. Anything else? You guys, anyone else is aware of to add before we get to new business? Excellent. That brings us to new business. Any new business? I don't think so. Wonderful. Well, anything before we wrap up? Thank you, everybody, for being here on a windy Halloween. We have a couple people without power, so I'm sure they'll love watching the recording. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn if there are no further topics to discuss?
I want to thank Veronica for leading this, and I will motion to adjourn.
Second?
Thanks. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Wonderful.
I always feel like a pirate when I say that.
That's R.
Or, yeah, that's true.
Cool.
All right.
Happy
Thank you,
Halloween.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.